back to this House of Walls. My name is Ashley, and on this channel I love to share all things homeschooling and books and anything else that I feel like sharing. As I am sharing this, it is New Year's Day, so Happy New Year! It has been quite a year, starting with the fact that I have been doing YouTube now for a year. There has definitely been a lot of learning and a lot of trying to figure out kind of what direction I want to take this channel. And it's been a lot of fun, a little stressful, but mostly I enjoy it. So I do have, of course, always a coffee, but I do have my journal. This is the journal that I'm using this year, and I'm using it kind of as a reading, scrapbooking, junk list journal, basically everything that I need. It doesn't have like things like appointments and stuff like that. That goes into my phone because I need to have access to that wherever I am. But I'm having a lot of fun putting this all together. If you are interested in seeing the start of the journal, I will link that down below. But for today, I wrote down 10 questions to myself for celebrating my first year of YouTube. All right, so here's my little sheet for today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with question number 1. What anniversary am I celebrating? I've said it. This is my first year. I started this at the very end of December of 2022. Honestly, I think when I started it, I was still recovering from COVID. So I think like I was starting to feel better, but didn't have a lot of pep in my step still, but I could sit down and record. I haven't even gone back to watch some of them, but I think in between talking, I was definitely having to like stop and cough and clear my throat and stuff like that. So for me, it was definitely a little bit of a rocky start, but that's okay. But here I am a year later. So question number 2, what do I like to share? So in my opening, I always say that I love to share everything homeschooling and books and anything else. And that's true. Mostly on my channel is homeschooling and books. There's definitely periods of time where one is heavier than the other. Right now it's been pretty book heavy, but we're in the middle of our school year. We've had a lot of holiday breaks. So there's just not a whole lot of stuff going on with the homeschool stuff. Now, as we get more into the spring, here's Millie, come to join me. As I get more into the spring, there will definitely be more homeschool content. I am already starting to kind of piece together, at least kind of in my head and like on Notepad on my phone, what we would like to use for next year. And so probably in the next 2 months, I'll be sharing all of that and sharing the process of getting all of that and how I set it all up. I do know our school year is going to start, I think, beginning of July for next year. And so definitely spring, very early summer will be a lot of homeschool content. And then I like to also keep it open. Anything else that I feel like sharing, I want to have that flexibility of sharing it here. Coming up later this week, I am sharing where I clean our schoolroom. So yeah, that's still kind of homeschool related, but it's also cleaning. So I love having that flexibility. Number 3, speaking of homeschooling, what is our homeschool style? There's a lot of homeschool styles out there, and some people find what their style is and stick with it. Some people kind of move around and switch it up a little bit. I would say we're kind of like that. We have done very classic homeschool. We are doing more kind of literature based right now. The main part that never changes is that we are secular. we believe in teaching religion kind of as it affects history and as it comes up in history. Beyond that, my kids are allowed to believe or not believe in whatever they wish, and we have pretty open conversations about religion. So I try to find either neutral based or secular religion, and if I can't, I try to at least make sure I can edit it. I do have a video I will link below of, we have been using The Good and the Beautiful this year, which is of course a very Christian based curriculum, and I go through and edit it to fit our beliefs. Here's Millie again. For the most part, I would say we're kind of in the mix of literature-based and classical. And that kind of just works for us, and both of my kids respond well to it. And I think that there's a lot of really amazing things taught in both, and I love kind of meshing them together. Now back to book stuff. Number 4, what are your favorite genres to read? I am definitely open to any and all genres. I, for years, read really only like romance and maybe some fantasy. I have definitely stepped back from romance in the past 2 years, and I'm definitely much more picky about what kind of romance I want to pick up. My main genres right now are fantasy, kind of any aspect of fantasy, cozy fantasy, epic fantasy. I am wanting to try out more sci-fi. I like a good mystery, not so much like thriller and like horror, but a good mystery is a lot of fun to read. And then just sprinkling in some kind of general fiction, kind of just to mix it up a little bit. I am not a big nonfiction reader. I just have a hard time getting into it. But every now and then, I like to sprinkle one in and see how it goes. All right, question number 5. What are some of our favorite read alouds? Let's see. We've been homeschooling now for quite a few years, and there's definitely been some favorites. There's definitely been some that I struggle to read aloud. I don't think that there's been any that we haven't liked. I think that there's been one that I decided, this book just really hasn't aged well, and so we set it down. For the most part, we're pretty open, and if we get to something in a book that obviously has not aged well, I set it down for a second and we have a big open discussion about why this would be in a book, what time frame it was written, and why it would not be in a book now. So I have a couple here that I just went onto my shelves and went, oh yeah, that was fantastic. Oh, we really liked that. Hi, Millie. So let me get those. So our first is Heartwood Hotel, A True Home by Callie George. This is just a sweet, young, elementary age read aloud, and you are following Mona, the mouse who stumbles across the Heartwood Hotel. And this hotel is a place where animals come from far and wide for safety, luxury, and comfort. But danger lurks still, and there's a little bit of mystery that goes on, but really it's a lot of found family and just kind of animals working together and getting along. I really liked this, and my youngest and I are actually just about to pick up the second one. There are, I think, 4 in the series. They all follow different seasons, and so we're about to start the winter one. The next one I got used, so I don't have the dust jacket, but it is Wish Tree by Catherine Applegate. Absolutely loved it. It's about following an old tree that has seen lots and lots of things happen around it. So you are following Red, who every year the community comes and hangs wishes on this tree. It could be simple little wishes to kind of bigger wishes. And you are following as Red just kind of observes different animals that come and nest or live near the tree. And you are also introduced to a girl named Samar who has just moved to the neighborhood and is having some difficulties. Absolutely wonderful, sweet, big time kind of learning going on from this book. I loved it. The next is The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. This, you are following a robot named Roz. The first time she opens her eyes, she is on an island surrounded by otters, and she has to learn how to survive and try to communicate with the animals on the island to help her survive. It is such a heartwarming, sweet story with characters that have amazing growth. Absolutely loved it. We have read the second one and liked it. I think that my kids liked this one more. There is a third one and we want to check that one out soon. Alright, my last is a set of books. It's a little controversial. I think that yes, there's definitely parts of these stories that have not aged well. But again, we put the book down and use it as a learning experience, and that is the Little House books. We have been reading these slowly but surely since the beginning of our homeschool year, and we're in our 4th year. So we have read Little House in the Big Woods, Farmer Boy, Little House on the Prairie, On the Banks of Plum Creek, and we just read By the Shores of Silver Lake. And so, I don't know, probably pretty soon I would like to continue the last 4 in the series. And I enjoy reading them aloud. I will say that By the Shores of Silver Lake, I did end up getting the audio for, and it was done really, really well. The narrator was fantastic. And anytime that Pa was playing the fiddle, they actually had somebody there playing the songs on a fiddle. So, there's that. All right, so that's just some of our all-time favorite reads. All right, number 6. Is there anything you plan to do more of this year? So on this channel, I don't know. I want to definitely consistently post more. I would like to post 2 videos every week, and we'll see how that goes. I kind of like the setup that I have right now of having some book content and some homeschool content, maybe doing a day in the life a little bit more, maybe doing a reading vlog. We'll see. I find those are harder for me to just film, but maybe that's just me pushing myself out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I would like to be able to do that more. All right, number 7, what are some challenges that you face with your channel? So I know definitely having more than one thing that I like to come on here and talk about. Not everybody wants to come on and see homeschool content, or not everyone wants to come on and see book content. It's really for my convenience that I have it all in one. I don't foresee splitting that content up into 2 channels. I think that would just be a little too much for me. And then another challenge I definitely faced at the end of 2023 was I was trying to post a lot on Instagram and here, and kind of got burnt out. So I really had to kind of take some time off and figure out what I wanted to do. Did I want to do any of it? Did I want to do all of it? Did I want to do some of it? So I've kind of landed on, I definitely want to put more energy into here. And my Instagram, having that more, sharing silly things on my stories, or sharing the videos that I'm posting onto here on my Instagram. So that's kind of some of my challenges and how I'm kind of working through them. All right, number 8, what equipment do you use? I use my phone. I have a really, really good phone. I have a S22 Ultra, so it's like a massive, huge phone, and has amazing cameras on it. I probably in the summer of 2023, I tested out a camera I bought on Amazon, and you know, it had like okay reviews as being like a good starter camera. I didn't like it. I think I totally scrapped the video that I made and never posted it or anything because just the quality and the ease of it wasn't the same. So I think for right now, I'm just going to keep using my camera. And then I do have a ring light. It's not on right now because the schoolroom that I'm in right now is nice and sunny in the mornings. But I do have a ring light, and it can go really small, it can go really tall, so I could stand in front of it, I can sit in front of it, and it's great. And then beyond that, I use my computer to edit. Right now I'm using CapCut to edit my stuff. I find that it's easy, it's free, and it does everything that I need, and doesn't get ultra confusing because I am not super tech savvy. Number 9, what are you looking forward to sharing this year? I am looking forward to sharing more book content. I think that I've definitely found some genres that I really, really enjoy reading, and I want to share more of that. And of course, homeschool content. Like I said, I am already starting to plan for, loosely, very kind of like, what might we use plan curriculum for next year. And so there's definitely going to be a lot of sharing that process, doing some flip throughs and stuff like that. All right, Millie's gonna stretch before our last question. What are some things you have learned? Well, definitely editing. That was a big one. I had no experience with it at all going in, but I have learned a lot from it, and I think that while I still have a lot to learn from it, I'm so happy with the progress. I think that I've learned to be more comfortable in front of the camera. I know the first time that I did this, I was like breaking out in a sweat. I still stumble over my words. There's still a lot of editing that goes on. I cannot just speak clearly and thoughtfully all in one sentence and not have to edit it. But also, that's just how I talk. I tend to stumble over words a lot. I've also learned I'm going to post what I feel like posting, and it may not suit the algorithm correctly. That's okay. I'm having fun doing this creatively, and I would like to continue to build the subscribers on this channel and have you all come along, but also I'm going to post what I feel like posting. All right, so thank you for coming along and getting to know me. I have for sure had a lot of fun this first year and learned a lot, and I can't wait to see what this second year on YouTube brings me. As I am posting this, I am 2 subscribers away from reaching 500, and that is a huge goal for me, and that's really exciting because honestly, I didn't put as much effort as I was kind of wanting to into the channel in the first year as I was kind of figuring it all out. And so I'm really excited to see what the second year brings if I can continue to post and kind of keep these goals in mind. As always, if you like these types of videos or anything else that I post on this channel, please make sure to like and subscribe below, and I will be back for more soon.